Hi everyone, this video is related to my games mastering, strengths and weaknesses through a player's viewpoint. Also I will include my viewpoint. Now I probably will get all the group members that have played a number of games with me as a GM to do this. So I've asked for 3 strengths, 3 weaknesses, and this one's through Gary's viewpoint, so just bear with me just a moment. Just gotta get to the right, strengths. I've got just got to look there to read it off. Open to many systems and games, had many of them himself. Some GMs stick to only one game ever, and I like variation. 2. Willing to listen to players, especially when it comes to grey areas or logical expertise. While a GM's word is law, a wise GM will appreciate the skills and players bring to a group, like Chris being our chronicler, or asking me about points of combat. Easygoing, willing to let adventures and games go where they will. These are the weaknesses. Sickness, prone, can't be helped, but as it affects you for quite a while, each bout often causes game to stall and which is a fair point, considering I have been pretty ill over the last few years, with the depression being one, and it can get pretty severe, you know, because I've had a few pretty bad bouts of it recently in that, and yeah, that can affect things, as well as the other illnesses as well, the other things as well, which can actually, if you're a GM and you're running regularly, it's a real pain. If you want to run regularly, it's a real pain, because you might get maybe 7 or 8 sessions done, and then you fall ill for a number of weeks where you just cannot run anything, and for me that's a real pain. Sometimes can really only get maybe a couple of sessions done before I end up falling ill. Part of the reasons why now we've got others of us running games, so we've got Chris running his Fate game, and so pretty much near enough all the people that are in my group, as I said before, will run at some point, which is really handy. It's just something, you know, I would like to play regularly without falling ill, but it's just one of those things where it just can't be helped. Flip side to number 1 strength. Now I will clarify this as well. We often move from one game to another, never seem to stick to one game for anything more than 1 or 2 adventures. Love to have more character development and character arcs. Okay, right, on that one, this last year, as a group, we decided really to have a few one-shots or short sessions and try out different games. I did, the last game I ran was the which for a long period of time was 5th Ed, because of things back at that particular time. Can't quite remember what was going on, but it was just a decision to have a break from that and try a few other things. Also, I did get to Pathfinder and that lasted a fair old while, but in the end I needed a break, so I took a break from that, and Gary took over for a little bit. So that's the reasons why. It's not that I don't want to run regular games with the one particular campaign. It was just that the last couple of years it has been a bit awkward for me, and of course illness does play a part. because I think what Gary was trying to get is a campaign where it's sort of like D&D, where it's from level 1 to level 20. Now this is something that is one of my weaknesses. The dog's just come in, so just excuse the dog. It is one of my weaknesses where sorry, she's put me off a bit, where I cannot maintain a campaign for a really long period of time, and I really hope she didn't sorry, she's breaking my train of thought. Maintaining a campaign, it's not been easy for me. I've been able to achieve it to a certain point, and then things just have fallen apart in the past. With the original one that I did, the draw-driven campaign, it was at a time where changing over from the old group, people leaving, things like that, to end up with the fresh group, things got quite complicated as well, and quite political and stuff like that. And because it being hill and stuff, I just could not actually plot out the game enough for it to continue, so it ended up pretty much dead in its tracks. So I believe we got about level 4 or level 5 on that game. Then there was the other Pathfinder game where it ended up as finished off, and it was a nice point to finish it, where I found out that the whole village population ended up being turned into wolves, and they broke the curse. People seemingly ended up back to normal, but again, I was going to go back to that, but then we've had a new player and stuff like that, and it has been some time, because what was decided was, because 5th edition D&D came out, so the decision was to give that a try and go back to it. But now it's been a while, and with the change of the group dynamics, I've actually spoke to one of my group members fairly recently. It was decided that to really start that one afresh, because there were certain story elements, certain story plot, the way I plotted it, which I wasn't too happy about, and it's a shame, but I prefer to start afresh on that. And I think it would be a good decision, so maybe, more than likely, I will go back to Pathfinder at some point, use some of the ideas I had for the that Pathfinder game, so some of the similar things will end up happening again, but there will more than likely be some changes, some positive changes, and I'd like to run a more longer campaign session with that. And I've also got 5th Ed, which is through the book anyway, so when I finish that, I'll probably see where I'm going to take it. But this is one weakness, where it's just plotting out a whole campaign so I can get it from level 1 to the grand finale. I can manage maybe a good dozen or so sessions with it, and it possibly end up like with Pathfinder, get to a certain point where I could end up with, they'll all end up maybe level 5, level 6, and that's it. I just cannot get it where it's long reaching, long lasting. It is one of my weaknesses that I am working on. Also did an English course that helped, which does help actually when it comes especially descriptive stuff and stuff like that, which is one of my personal weakness I feel, I could describe things better, but sometimes the players just sort of get on with it, and I do like to get a really good description because it creates atmosphere and stuff like that. So that's just clarifying things there. Let's see, what else was it? Ending's always a little abrupt. We've already discussed the cases, reasons why just now, but the ending, the last ending, I didn't feel it was quite abrupt. I just feel that it was the right time to the right point to end it when it came to the Pathfinder one, and I was, as I said, was going to come back to it. The 5th Ed one, it was an abrupt ending. We didn't carry on with that, and we were going to go back to that, but at this point in time we haven't got back to it yet. So, and the final thing, which is a really fair point, and confidence, both when dealing with problem players and when running, the nerves can be noticed, and so you don't feel you have had enough time to read the material. With some of it, yes. With the when I've got enough time to read the material, I just need a little bit more time, really, with certain things. Confidence, I believe, just to clarify, in the past I've had a number of bad experiences within the game, and because of my past experiences in life as well, it's ended up the way I am in game. And to be honest, if people knew what exactly happened, it's completely understandable. The biggest problem was the when it came to having that problem players, because of the stress and the pressure as well. When you're like that, you tend to not handle things as well as if you're completely well. And maybe when you do get to that point where you're feeling it a fair bit, maybe it is always best to discuss it with the group and decide to really hand it over to someone else until you're feeling better. Alright, Lola? So I'm just back to that bit. Lola. Yeah, overall I do feel that I do a really good job with it. It's with the nerves part of it. Yeah, as I say, with the problem players and stuff like that. But overall, I feel that I'm okay. If the nerves do show, it might be at pretty critical times within the game, or because I have problems with maintaining a long-reaching campaign thing. It could be pretty close to the point where I've got to have a break so I can write more material, or see if I can just create more campaign stuff, and that's really when the nerves do show a bit, to be honest. But that really just clarifies and covers pretty much everything. I'm going to be asking the other group members on this, because it's always helpful anyway. I'll just add a few bits. I do believe another strength for me is comic timing. I'm fairly good with the comedy within game. I also feel that I'm not bad with winging it. I can wing it pretty well. I do feel that that is the case. As I say, the main weaknesses has pretty much already been discussed. Anything else I can think of which is a weakness of mine? Sometimes I just, especially when a lot's happening, I do need to really, take charge more, just that I can, with all the information coming in and stuff, not that group members can get out of hand. It's just the case of, they're really interested in the game and stuff. And sometimes I've got to say, hey, just hold on a moment. That really, and the other thing is, the only thing that really I should add as well is just when it comes to rules points, I should take charge more and say, look, yeah, I know there's a problem with the rule, I know you probably don't like it, but can we just let me make a ruling on it so that then we can discuss it after game if what you feel is right, or we find out something different, or find out what the interpretation really is, then we'll make a decision to go by it or house rule it. I think that's pretty much it. So that's my strengths and weaknesses from a player's viewpoint, also my clarification and feedback, and just my own feelings on my strengths and weaknesses as well. So I'm going to sign off with this, because there will be probably another couple of parts when I get more feedback. What is your free strengths as a GM? Free strengths as a player as well, actually, but also your weaknesses, up to 3 weaknesses as a GM. And like me, always handy to ask your players, because then you can always work on your weaknesses. So thanks for watching. A little bit of a nervy one for me, because there's some of the weaknesses and stuff to talk about can't always be, not always an easy thing to talk about when you're facing a camera. Other people are going to watch it. But anyway, thanks for watching. Till next time. Okay.